Again. Hey, I'm over at the Hyatt House. You know the drill. Built in 1785, vacant since 1967, and we are in the process of renovating. To be honest, between COVID, multiple people having COVID, multiple people exposed to COVID, and a lot of nasty weather, we didn't get a lot done this week. But we did do some more demo downstairs on the ground floor. So let's go inside and see what all the guys have done. Hey everybody, we are over at the Hyatt House. I have had the need to quarantine, so I haven't seen what the guys have been doing. They've been working away without me. So you are seeing this for the first time as I'm seeing it. So obviously we've started doing demo on the ground floor. There were 3 spaces we had not demoed yet. Here's our foyer, there's our parlor, and our hallway. Now they sent me some photos, and one of the things that I think I've noticed from the pictures, and it looks like I'm right, is it looks like this wall right here is not original. And we can tell that because the plaster and the lath run between the floor and this wall. Now this is making a little bit of sense though, because this is the wall that, if you remember from the first video in this room, you remember this wall that was just there, that wasn't on any type of support? So when they decided to build a wall, they just built it and they didn't worry about what was underneath it. So not an original wall, which I kind of thought that might be the case. Definitely is the case. This wall is just like the one upstairs. It runs the whole width of the house, and that is definitely original, as is this wall that kind of creates the parlor. Again, we've got these giant cross braces. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna keep exploring, see what else we find. Okay, I'm still in the hallway. There is that giant door that I've told you about. When we started working, this area right here was already falling down a little bit, and we were intrigued by what that was. And I believe, because the bathroom is right up there, that is some type of old school P-trap for the tub. The tub would have connected over here, and this would have run over to the toilet and the sink. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, I'm in the parlor now. I think I've showed you guys this light fixture before. Definitely going to see about rewiring and repurposing that. And all right, this is the other side of the wooden room. Remember I told y'all that there was a window that had been patched. I could tell from the trim and the plaster that there had been a window here that had been patched. So now we get a better look at that. This is part of that old window framing. This is another piece that actually was in the wall that would have been over here. So you see how regular our studs are. And we got a big gap here, and then our studs there. It kind of looks like maybe there was a fire up in here somewhere along the way too. All right, now this is cool over here. We can really see the way that the stairs are assembled or constructed. And there's this one giant support piece that has been notched, and the risers and the flooring for the stairs have been slid into there. Let me see if I can get a little closer and see if you can see what I'm talking about. You see that right there is one board, and these boards were slid into place. Right here you can see where it was notched a little bit. That's pretty cool. And the guys told me that they had left me something over here to find, like an Easter egg. Oh, I think they said, let's see. it's a chisel. Somebody would have left that in the wall. That happens today too. We were finishing my parents' house not too long ago, and one of my favorite carpenters nailed his favorite hammer in the wall. So I can imagine that's probably how this one got left in there too. That's pretty cool. Cool views looking up. All right, I'm going to keep seeing what I find that's cool. Okay, so the guys continued to get all that plaster up and tear down that lath. Now they've moved into working on this room. We've definitely decided that this wall was added later. I always think it's really cool when you see the gas lines running, because there would have been gas lighting in this house at one time. So you've got gas running up, over, and then down into this room. It's really cool to see how it feels when it's all open like this. You can see there, you remember our, just like the second floor, we've got that long beam that runs the width of the house. It was notched for the studs to go up in there. It's interesting, this is the second time that we've seen a door where there was a stud there, but not anymore. I don't know if maybe there never was a stud and they just notched it and then didn't need it, or in the process, if it changed. Okay, here by myself, heard something, but I think it was that water bottle blowing. We're gonna go with that. Hey, it looks like there may have been some fire down here at one time. All right, let's keep going and see what else we find. They opened up this little closet here, which is a great closet. Little short closet, but really deep. So that's good. There's another one of those giant cross pieces. The good thing about the way we're doing this is normally we'd start on the outside, but because of weather, we started on the inside. But we're really going to be able to see what needs to be caulked from the outside, and we're going to really be able to weatherproof this house. And then of course we'll add insulation later. Okay, so I'm doing that little look in a hole trick. That is the shiplap room behind this room, and here we are in the parlor. Kind of cool. Okay, so you remember this room. This was where we tore the floor up and got to all those beams and added some extra support. We have put down plywood. It's temporary. It's not screwed down. It's just here so that we can do demo in here. We got another pretty brick fireplace. Okay, first time I've seen this one. As I suspected, that big beam went the length of the house and into this room. Now, we know this wall is not original because the plaster runs between the joists and the wall. But what about this arch here? That we don't know. Whoever covered it in lath worked really hard to get it covered in lath. It's been here for a while. I just don't know if it's original. I don't think it is. And I also don't know if it's going to go back or not, because this is going to be the kitchen and we don't have a lot of upper cabinet space, and those columns or arches, not columns, those arches are just going to make it harder to get that cabinetry that we need. So unless I can figure out that they were really original, those are probably going to go away. but maybe we can find a way to expose some of that beam. So if you remember from Demo and Discoveries Part 1, we found the room with the amazing layers of wallpaper. That is the other side of those wallpapered walls. And I told you that there was a window there at one time, because at one time this wall was the back of the house. So you can see the framing from where that window used to be. So that is pretty cool. Just so impressed by the size of some of this lumber, the size of it and the length of it. So we are doing lots of demo, folks. So my next step, I've got my handy dandy little notepad and my fancy tape measure and my dollar store tape measure, and I'm going to get some measurements because I anticipate that I may be snowed in this weekend, and this is a good opportunity for me to start laying some things out. I've got I've got 3 bathrooms upstairs I need to lay out, and I need to start figuring out this kitchen. So I'm going to run some measurements, and if I see anything else cool, I will let you know. Okay, I'm still hanging out in the room that's going to be a big kitchen. I'm over here at the fireplace, and I'm looking up, and directly above us is another fireplace. And it's just kind of cool because you don't normally see underneath a hearth. So this is where the hearth would be upstairs. There is a big piece of wood there. My guess is they put that wood in, and then whatever the hearth would have been, which would have been some kind of masonry, was laid on top of that wood, because obviously masonry is not just going to hang there. So just kind of a cool view because you don't normally see under a hearth. Okay, so I got all my measurements for all of this room. So I am ready to draw this one. And I'm going to move on to the second floor and do some measurements up there. So if you haven't figured it out, I just really love spending time over here. I love seeing what we're going to unveil. I love figuring out the story of what came first and what was added later. There's another one of those hearths from underneath. I'm still intrigued by how they built that staircase, which, while it is very narrow, it is really solid, and you can see why, how it was constructed. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep nerding out over here, y'all. We are making progress. We are having fun in the process. I hope you guys are having fun watching the videos. While you are here, make sure that you are subscribing so that you don't miss a video. Comment. I love your comments. I love your questions. Like us, follow us, and come back. Hopefully next week, if the weather permits, we'll have another one. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.